We'll see how long I can play a song before YouTube will pull a video down. I think it's about that. That's Maxi Priest. It's an old song. It's a good song. I updated the hockey algorithm today within one revolution of that song, meaning I oftentimes listen to music when I do programming work, and I got it all updated for the day in under, that song is apparently 5 minutes and 30 seconds long. It literally, as the song finished, I pressed refresh on the day, which is Wednesday, March 10th, 2021. Let's talk some hockey. So there are 5 games, and I wanted to spend a little more time with hockey today to help people, but I'm not in a state where I'm betting, and I'm doing some other work. It's tax season, guys. There's a lot of taxes going on. So I need to do some other work, but there's something I wanted to talk about, and I figured, well, there's really no better place than YouTube and explaining how analyzing hockey games and actually programming in Microsoft Excel and putting ideas and information down into formulas and results and colors and stuff like that. There's no better time spent, I think, than to record how I would do this, because I was kind of feeling ashamed that I wasn't doing better with projected scoring and injuries after the other night with a Vegas game. And I was like, well, how do we fix this? And I go, I don't have time to go. I was whiny. And I'm like, I don't want to figure out what's going on I don't care. I don't want to program and figure out why I can't do this and what I'm going to do with day-to-day people. Right? I was like, but you know what? We kind of need to. Because otherwise, when you look at this, it's not perfect. And I don't mean perfect. Perfect is an unattainable goal, but it's not taking your entire thought process and turning it into a result. Meaning, if we know some people are injured, like is Pietrangelo playing? He's undisclosed. He didn't play the other night. Let's assume he's not playing, because this is weird looking. Well, he's day-to-day, and I have him being included somehow. So let's figure out what is going on in the programming to figure out how we can solve this. So let's look at all the player stats here. So I have something called the C-score related to player stats. And if we sort these by or filter these by team, for example, we can look at just the Vegas Golden Knights and figure out that these are the players we have, and we have this injury that we are bringing in. We are allowing, I'm saying that day-to-day is okay, and day-to-day means you're playing. Well, let's, I guess, remove day-to-day then, right? Let's do that. So if it equals day-to-day, so this is the annoying part about if equals, it's actually just an or. Wait a minute, this is actually really easy. Hold on a second. Okay, so we have some exclusions in this big, long, junky formula thing that says at the very beginning, if the injury cell that we're looking at right next to it is blank, then do something simple. Or do this formula, or meaning if it's blank, or it says the word day to day. I just I don't care about day to day meaning that, so let's just get rid of this. Let's just get rid of that. Oops, this is where me being blind does not help programming. I can't see what I'm doing. So all right, I guess that's all right. Well, we're gonna find out. Okay, so Pietrangelo goes to nothing now. So let's apply this formula to the entire file now. What we just did, or very, very easily what we're doing here, is just removing the day-to-day exclusion. So now day-to-day people are all of a sudden not playing, okay? So that's what's going on now. So we're going to apply that filter to everyone. And what that is going to do is that is going to affect things that involve projected scoring and stuff. So, for example, I already have brought in information, and we predicted, without that day-to-day exclusion, we predicted that Vegas is going to beat Minnesota, this is tonight, Wednesday, 3.2 to 1.8. Well, I've just removed those players. Now, the daily odds extractor, this is where different stuff is happening. Vegas's percentage is 60% now. Was it 60% before? No, it was 72. Okay, so now we grab this again, because this hasn't changed, and we lay it over the cube. I know, don't worry if you're not understanding what I'm talking about, just don't worry about it. We're going to paste this here, and then we're going to refresh. Let's see if it changes. Oh, yes. Winner. Okay, done. I'm glad I spent the time to do that. Did you see change? Yep. So now day-to-day people are not playing. If you knew for a fact, because you are someone who researches and someone who wants to use this file to the fullest of its potential, and you were analyzing real players and you put a filter on this and you started looking at all of these day-to-day statuses, okay? Just the day-to-days, because we're saying they're not playing. Or no, we're saying they're not. Yeah, we're saying they're not playing when they're day to day. If you know, for an example, that they are playing, like if you know that Troy Terry is playing because you've got good information, you could just remove that. And if you did that and then refreshed everything and repasted everything, it would include him in the scores. So fascinating stuff. That's awesome what we just did. Now let's go back and now look at today that we've done some programming. I'm glad I spent the time to do that. We'll figure out exactly how many minutes that took. All right. So now, all of a sudden, this became a lot closer game, by the way. That's what happened when we pulled the day-to-day people out of the lineups. Kakinen. All right, so super close game, tough to bet. You can see that the line's actually a little favorable for Minnesota in what's going to be a very close game with some hurt players on Vegas that didn't adjust. They didn't adjust for offense the last time when they lost. When I was in Las Vegas, even though that game was not in Las Vegas. Ottawa and Edmonton here. Says Edmonton ain't going to mess around. I like the streaking thing. Let's add another period of... no, it's just fine the way it is. So, I don't like the line here on Edmonton. That's not good. It's the first time I look. I'm not betting today, so I don't really care, but I'm just going to go over it for you guys, see if I see anything interesting. Because we had a good day yesterday, which I'm going to talk about in a second after we're done with today. I just don't like this game because of the line. And Ottawa is sneaky and actually scores some goals sometimes and makes interesting games. So I have fun with Ottawa, but the algorithm really... Actually, the algorithm says Ottawa's playing a little worse. But so is Edmonton. Edmonton's actually playing a lot worse in the last 15 days compared to the last 30 days. So that's why I don't like this line. And in a way, Ottawa's got a sneaky line. If you want to mess around in this game, you mess around with Ottawa, even though the algorithm does not think they're going to do it, except that they're not streaking as poorly as Edmonton is streaking right now. That's all. To Arizona and Colorado, here's a team that is below 50% team. They're just not that good this year. That's their problem. Gruby's got a great rating for some reason because he's got a high save percentage. Is that because Colorado has no defense and he's just making saves all over the place? That's another thing we could talk about, is the way we calculate the goalie score. I use save percentage heavily in the formula for this, right? 45% is save percentage. This was given to me by a goalie that I went to college with for the University of Vermont. He insisted that save percentage be a heavy percentage when doing this, and he's right. So, anyway, so Gruby's got this great rating, but it probably gets a ton of shots. I mean, we could actually look at that. His save percentage would be high, but if his shot total is high, then game win, loss, save percentage, largest to smallest. Don't include this guy. Gruby is where? He's all the way down there at 917. He's 12-7. His goals against is 2. I don't know why he's so highly ranked in here. 82, because he's almost the strongest goalie of the day. Marc-Andre Fleury's stronger, and that's it. So he's got a really good rating. I don't know. I just don't know if it's justified. It's weird. I don't like Colorado in this game. I took Arizona when I was in Vegas. Arizona won. And here's Arizona, another great line. And there's no reason. Look at them streaking better. Ranta's playing. That could be trouble, though. Yeah, Ranta's not good. So, yeah, you probably have a shootout here, probably, right? Maybe more goals. Go with an over for fun in Colorado. LA and Anaheim. It would probably, barely like LA, but really just ugly game all around. Yuck. Anaheim's still bad. Don't think they're not just because they won a big game. Anyway, yeah. So not a lot of value here. Kind of you're still chasing a coin flip. Two bad teams, I guess. Montreal and Vancouver. Doesn't Vancouver plus? I was going to say the algorithm's not going to agree with that, but I would take Vancouver. Montreal is awful. Look at this. Look at the you can't argue with how bad they are. I don't get why they ever get favored. There's that weird game they beat Winnipeg 7-1 when the algorithm had Winnipeg, but they still sucked. Didn't they lose just last night? Did they blow a 1-0 lead or something? And lose in overtime 2-1? They suck. I would totally take Vancouver. I know they're whatever. Algorithm says it's still less than a 1-goal game. Look at it that way. Because these things get rounded. The percentage scores, the projected scores, they get kind of rounded when you think about empty net goals at ends of games. It's like, oh, the team got 3 and then maybe made the 4th on an empty net. That's the way I look at the decimal point oftentimes. And it's interesting to think about it that way. It's like, oh, they'll make it 4-2, right? Colorado will win 4-2 maybe if that's the scoring. Anyway, all right, so under in this game, under in Vegas, Minnesota. That's if Fleury's playing, yes, under. I like an over in this game. I think Smith can play good though. I don't know, but Ottawa's been scoring weird goals more than. All right, whatever. I'm done talking about today. I want to talk about yesterday for a second. So yesterday, it goes 7-2. And as it goes 7-2, a lot of winning up top, a lot of interesting things. I talked about Pittsburgh being a good game, and they won. The Islanders came back and won 2-1. Hey, what's up? There's a lot of good stuff in here. Yeah, and I got other stuff I got to do. Anyway, so good luck, everybody, on today's picks. Yesterday was pretty good, and I talked about today, and I got to run. All right, good luck.